Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be talking about September new book releases. So I like to do these every month leading up to the next month that's coming and share with you guys different books that are coming out in that month. So I have a bunch of books that are coming out in September. Some of these I'm just going to mention for you guys because I know a lot of you have been reading these certain book series. Other ones I will share that I'm personally interested in. But yeah, I just like to do these so that we all know about the new books coming out. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first one is Kingdom of the Feared. This is the third book in this series, and it is coming out in September. So if anybody has read this series, the third one's coming out. For those of you that are fans of Frederick Bachman, he has The Winners coming out, which is another book. It says it's in the Beartown series, so if you liked that book, then this one is a continuation on that. So definitely check this one out. Then there's Naomi Novik's third book in the Scholomance trilogy, which is The Golden Enclaves. I think that's how you say that. Enclaves. I don't know how to say that word. I hope I'm saying it right. But anyways, here is the third book in this series. I believe this was originally supposed to be a duology, but now it's been turned into a trilogy. So there you go. This next one I'm excited about. This is by Chloe Gong, and it's called Foul Lady Fortune. So I'm going to give you guys a synopsis of this one. It's a fantasy one, so we'll see how it goes because I'm better at like summarizing thriller books, but then when it comes to fantasy, I always mess it up. So I'll just like read it off for you. It's 1931 in Shanghai, and the stage is set for a new decade of intrigue. 4 years ago, Rosalind Lang was brought here from the brink of death, but the strange experiment that saved her also stopped her from sleeping and aging, and allows her to heal from any wound. In short, Rosalind cannot die. Now, desperate for redemption from her traitorous past, she uses her abilities as an assassin for her country. Codename Fortune. But when the Japanese Imperial Army begins its invasion march, Rosalind's mission pivots. A series of murders is causing unrest in Shanghai, and the Japanese are under suspicion. Rosalind's new orders are to infiltrate foreign society and identify the culprits behind the terror plot before more of her people are killed. To reduce suspicion, however, she must pose as the wife of another nationalist spy, Orion Hong, and though Rosalind finds Orion's cavalier attitude and playboy demeanor infuriating, she is willing to work with him for the greater good. But Orion has an agenda of his own, and Rosalind has secrets that she wants to keep buried. As they both attempt to unravel the conspiracy, the two spies soon find that there are deeper and more horrifying layers to this mystery than they ever imagined. That sounds really good. That sounds very exciting. I have not read any books by Chloe Gong, but I know that a lot of people really like her writing. And so this book sounds pretty good. I love spy books. It's something that I didn't really realize I liked until I read some. And then I was like, okay, this is actually like a fun genre. And so, yeah, that sounds like it could be a really good time. Then for anybody that's interested, Nona the Ninth is coming out. I believe this is the third book in the Gideon the Ninth series. So keep your eye out for that one. Okay, this next one sounds awesome. And I'm like, I want to go pick this up immediately. So this one's called Killers of a Certain Age. And it's essentially about 4 different women who are part of this organization called the Museum. And it is essentially like an assassination organization. So these women are all assassins, and they've been in the trade for over 40 years. They're now all in their 60s, and so their company kind of gives them like an all expenses paid trip because they're officially retiring. And so they send them on this trip to enjoy themselves and kind of just like celebrate their retirement. But then the 4 women find out that the agency has actually marked them for death. And so now the actual agency that they were working for is trying to kill them. And so now the women need to use the skills that they have acquired during working for that agency to stay alive. And so I think that sounds awesome. 60-year-old spies trying to stay alive and avoid being assassinated by their own boss. Like, how cool is that? That sounds like a really fun plot line. And I want to go pick up this book right now. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for this one because this just sounds like such a fun, action-packed book. And yeah, I wouldn't think to have a book with like 60-year-old assassins, but I'm so down for this and I want to read it. I want to pick this up immediately. This next one sounds really cool as well. This is called The Ledge, and wait till you hear what this is about. So it says, in a place known as The Ledge, a civilization is trapped by a vast chasm and sheer mountain face. There is no way for anyone to escape the frozen wasteland without befalling a deathly drop. They know nothing of the outside world except that it is where the glacians reside. Mystical winged creatures who bring them meager rations to survive in exchange for a periodic human sacrifice. Dawson, axe wielder and only remaining member of her family, has so far avoided the annual culling, but her luck has run out. She is chosen and ripped from her icy home, the only world she knows. No one knows what will happen to her on the other side, least of all Dawson. Murdered, enslaved, worse. Thankfully, the fates align and Dawson manages to escape their clutches with the help of a half-glacian called Ryan. It's spelt like R-Y-O-N, so that's why I questioned that spelling. But trust does not come easily, and she keeps a trained axe to his throat while they journey together down the slopes. But who's to say that the life below will be any better than the one she has run from? So I'm just like more intrigued by this book. Like I want to know what's happening on the outside world away from this place called The Ledge. And like what's happening on the outside, I'm sure Dawson's going to find out. And I'm curious to find out too. So yeah, this is one that I would definitely pick up. This next one is going to be perfect for Christmas season. So maybe it's one to pick up to get ready for Christmas. And this is called A Merry Little Meet Cute. And it actually sounds like a pretty fun like rom-com. So the main character is named Bee, but they have an alternative personality called Bianca. And that is their like adult film star name, but they are also an actor as their day job, and so they get a job where they're doing a Christmas movie that's supposed to be for like the Hope Channel, and it's in like a nice little town. And so when they go to do this movie, they actually find out that their co-star is an ex-crush that they had when they were kids. Now this guy was in a band, I believe, but his band is kind of petered out, and so now he's switching careers so that he can support his mom and his sister, and so he's taking on the other part in this movie. But he also recognizes his co-star from some of her adult films, and so the two of them start kind of like shacking up while doing the job, but trying to hide it from others since they're kind of filming a movie for a Hope Channel, which is supposed to be like family friendly. And yeah, it goes from there. I'm sure there's going to be some wild things that come up, as they do in rom-coms, but this is also around like Christmas season, so it's like a Christmassy book and something that could give you some Christmas spirit. I don't know. It seems really cute though, and it seems like a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely check out this one if you like that kind of stuff. We also have a new book by Aidan Thomas coming out called The Sunbearer Trials. And so I don't think I'll do the synopsis justice for this one, so I will like read it out to you guys. As each new decade begins, the sun's power must be replenished so that Sol can keep traveling along the sky and keep the evil obsidian gods at bay. 10 semidioses between the ages of 13 and 18 are selected by Sol himself as the most worthy to compete in the Sunbearer Trials. The winner carries light and life to all the temples of Reino del Sol, but the loser has the greatest honor of all. They will be sacrificed to Sol, their body used to fuel the sunstones that will protect the people of Reino del Sol for the next 10 years. Tio, a 17-year-old jade semidios and the trans son of Quetzal, goddess of birds, has never worried about the trials, or rather, he's only worried for others. His best friend, Nia, daughter of Tierra, the god of earth, is one of the strongest heroes of their generation and is much too likely to be chosen this year. He also can't help but worry, reluctantly and under protest, for Aurelio, a powerful gold semidios and Tio's friend-turned-rival, who is a shoo-in for the trials. Tio wouldn't mind taking Aurelio down a notch or two, but a 1 in 10 chance of death is a bit too close for Tio's taste. But then, for the first time in over a century, Sol chooses a semidios who isn't a gold. In fact, he chooses two. Zio, the 13-year-old child of Mala Suerte, god of bad luck, and Tio. Now they must compete in 5 mysterious trials against opponents who are both more powerful and better trained for fame, glory, and their own survival. This book sounds pretty friggin' awesome. Like, I would be so down to read this book. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for this one. I did enjoy Cemetery Boys. That one was a lot of fun. I think I gave it like a 3.5. I did a buddy read for that one too, and it was a lot of fun to do the buddy read and like talk about the book as we went. So maybe I will see if Hillary from Melted Books wants to do another buddy read of Aidan Thomas's new book. I'll have to wait and see. And the last one I have on this list is called Leech, and this one sounds really creepy. So it's essentially an isolated setting, and there is a doctor that's taking over for another doctor that passed away. So they go to this like castle in this like frozen like wasteland and they're doing their studies and trying to figure out how one body went missing, because apparently a body went missing. At the same time, a parasite is let loose in the castle and it starts wreaking havoc, and that's all I really know. That's it. I don't know much else, but that alone sounds really cool, and it definitely is something that like I would be interested in reading because it's a secluded setting, which I love those, and it's definitely got creepy factor on it. So that sounds like a good book to me. Anyways, those are all the books that I have noted that are coming out next month and ones that I'm excited for. I would definitely be open to hearing what you guys are excited about coming out next month, or definitely tell me in the comments down below if there's other ones I haven't mentioned that you think I would be interested in, because I'm always excited to hear about new books coming out. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post new videos on Mondays and Thursdays. Until next time, keep on reading.